the way they used to do it, right after WrestleMania and right after, I think, SummerSlam, or the week after that, you would go on the tour. Mm-hmm. Because they would give everybody a break in this country with no shows for 10 days. And then the talent would fly from wherever, WrestleMania or SummerSlam, wherever it was, they would fly directly to Europe or to London and start the tour. And that is a grind, buddy. One time I went from LA to New York, then to London. And the time I got there, I was dead. And then they kicked us all off the plane.
Go on.
Because
Marty Jannetty wasn't on it, was he?
He was on it. I'm sure he was. I know Sean was on it. Marty may not have been on it. But this is when they had the KLIQ there. And I got on the plane with Bradshaw, and I knew these guys. And I said, I need to sit right back there. We were in first class. I sat right back in the corner so nobody could get behind me. And I told John, I said, what? John asked me, why you want to sit back here? I said, well, nobody can cut my hair or your hair because they'd have to, because somebody had their hair cut on that. I think Scott Hall had his hair cut by Savio, because Savio and Scott were always at each other. And they had a food fight. Everybody got drunk, took a bunch of pills, and they were throwing food into the first class cabin. And when we landed, when we got off, they all got us together, and as a gentleman, you cannot continue on. We had to go from London on to like Munich, and they refused to take us. They kicked us off. And I forgot who the agent was. I think it was Dave Hebner. And he got back in touch with Stanford, and they bought us all new tickets to go to Munich. And a bunch of guys got fined like $2,000 for that. But since me, remember my motto, don't get involved unless you need to get involved. I did not get involved in the food fight. Actually, in the cabin, they had a knife. Somebody threw a knife, and it was stuck into the wall of the first class compartment. They pulled the knife out, and I'm thinking, and that was, and you know who was on this flight too?
Go on.
Tammy and Sonny. Sonny, Tammy, and Chris. They were on it. And there's another story about that's when the food ended up in Tammy's, that mysterious substance ended up in Tammy's food.
The old stink pickle.
Yep. And the next day I got up and Sonny was gone, already gone. And nobody knew who did that, but I have an idea who did it.
Waltman, Sean Waltman.
Yeah. They said he did it, but I think he finally admitted that, didn't he?
I think so as well. Hey, you said before, I've heard this very briefly once as well. Savio cut a bit of the mullet off Razor Ramon. Why?
Because Razor had done something to him. I think he got drunk and he shaved an eyebrow. Listen, these are 30-year-old guys acting like they're 14. That's what it is. And, you know, it's here, and I'm much older than those guys even then. And I'm thinking, well, guys, I wish you wouldn't do that. But, hey, not my business. Not my business. So I walked out.
Not your circus, not your monkeys.
No,
did you ever sleep on a plane, or did you just know to stay awake and not be messed with?
Well, I did not try to sleep unless I was back against the wall, but I knew who was on the plane. I knew it was we were tired. We were all tired, and I knew they was going to be slamming it down. So they were going to get drunk. I actually expected a few fights. It's what I expected. But we didn't get that, but we did get the hair cutting, the knife in the wall, getting kicked off the plane. I've never been kicked off a plane before, but I got kicked off by association. So I had to take the punishment along with the ones who did it. And of course, I never got any of the blame because that wasn't my reputation. Again, the usual suspects is who, if you have trouble on a plane and you say, all right, who was on the plane? Okay, talk to them first, because it was the usual suspects. But Savio surprised me, but he got tired of Razor's messing with him. And he said he got back at him. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, well, why didn't they fight? Listen, Razor Ramon, he wouldn't want to fight Savio. Savio was a tough son of a bitch. Tough. So, but again, you know, I'd be kind of afraid to fight Scott myself, since he killed that guy outside that bar that time. Mm-hmm. But anyway, those are the people I work with.
I remember
all my life, basically.
I remember Mike Chioda told me once, the referee just said, this was on the famous plane ride from hell, and he just went, I didn't see anything. I had my sunglasses on at all times, because if someone was going to shave my eyebrows, they'd have to take the sunglasses off first to do it, which was a good idea. Did anyone do the old shaving cream turban affair?
I don't think so. But they were mostly acting like kids, throwing food, a food fight. Food was all over the walls. It was a mess. And when they told us they weren't going to take us to Germany, I think it was Munich, we were going somewhere, they brought police around too, in case we had a problem. All the police were standing there while they told us. And they said, either get a flight back to America or find your own way. And I think we were on United or American, one of those airlines, but they refused to take us. Now, we use those airlines a lot, or WWE does. If we had been banned from even flying on those airlines, which I don't think WWE would have been banned because they spend too much money with them, that would have been a tough thing to work around. A travel ban, a travel ban on a national carrier. I don't know how we would have gotten there, or a lot of other towns for that matter. But anyway, it happened, and I was there.